Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Damien, the Omen 2, starring William Holden and Lee Grant and directed by Don Taylor. Let's just get right into this, shall we? Because I've never seen this movie before. Damien is now 12 years old, signing up to the military academy while living with Richard and Ann Thorne, played by William Holden and Lee Grant, for 7 years, and yes, it's been 7 years since the first film because of the trailer for the film says he was 5 years old when his parents got killed, and when it took place, and now he's 12, so it was 7 years ago. And honestly, I didn't mind being around these characters, despite this is so far not as good as the original, but I enjoy being around them, including Damien and his stepbrother Mark joins him in the military academy, and I'm liking the comfort. I'm liking this comfortably. The only person not comfortable in the house around Damien is Aunt Marion, but both Damien and Mark say their goodbyes to the people around the house and go off to the military academy. And surprisingly, this is working for me. After Anne and Marion are After Anne wants Aunt Marion out of the house because of how badly she talks about Damien, she dies from a crow staring at her menacingly, which was fucking random, but honestly, she got what she deserved after what she said about Damien. Damien and Mark arrived to the military academy as they have a family connections from Robert from the last movie and Richard in this movie, as they're both politicians from I'm led to believe, as they're antagonizing both Damien. Well, not they, but one guy antagonizes Damien and Mark for Robert Thorne's death on how crazy he is, until Damien fucks him up by staring at him and making him crawl like a bitch. While after being interviewed by a colonel, and Damien doesn't realize that he's the son of the devil with his telekinesis powers, which was pretty damn hilarious. Richard is interviewed by Joan Hart, and he's offended by her questions and throws her out of the car and talks with her boss on the phone, and she's off the case. And Joan is annoying in this movie, but luckily she's killed by a crow attack in a truck after watching Damien play some sport game, which I don't know the name of. But my point is, I'm glad she's dead. For the rest of the movie, I'm comfortable with this plot, as it's a good follow up to the original. It's snow day at the Thorne residence, and it's Mark's birthday. And Damien has an admirer named Paul. Let me see if I'm saying this right. Booher, an act, and the actor playing him, I reviewed him before, as he is the voice of Ratchet in the first four Michael Bay Transformers movies. And one thing is for sure, he's a hell of a lot better here than any of those Bay former films. They have fireworks in the backyard, and the next day they play hockey in the ice until Bill Atherton sinks in the ice and dies from a current on the ice cold water. And the guy I felt sort of bad for because he didn't do anything to deserve that death whatsoever. And they just move on like it's everything is normal. That felt problematic for the movie's way to kill people by a hawk. Meanwhile, something's up with Paul, and next thing you know, Damien knew the answers to every question asked by the professor. And Damien gets in trouble for adding for odd reasons, and the teacher thought he was being a smartass, and the colonel talks with him, and he's led to believe he's the son of the devil, so he makes Damien read the Bible to know the truth about him, which is a dramatic turn for Damien's life. And I like the location of where this movie was shot. Damien brings his classmates to the factory where Richard owns, and for some reason something breaks out of the blue, And people get some kind of sickness except for Damien, and the doctor wants to keep him in the hospital for more test reasons. But Damien rejects it. And he makes an exception, which doesn't make sense. The doctor looks up Damien's blood and finds a jackal that he doesn't understand as he goes down the elevator and gets killed in it while it going up and down. And the elevator breaks and cuts him in half, which was rather hysterical for a death scene. Charles Warren realizes Damien is the son of the devil, and Mark overhears the conversation between him and Richard. And the next day, Mark takes a walk in the snow, and Damien tries to help him as they talk. And Mark says, "Damien, stay away from me." And Damien randomly kills Mark, and he runs into the house. And that scene was fantastic with its death scene, and the acting is tremendous. Richard visits Charles in Chicago as the train goes towards Charles and kills him, and that was another good death scene. While Richard sees a drawing of Damien on a rock, and that's how he figures out Damien is the son of the devil, which didn't make sense either, but whatever. Damien graduates the military academy, and Anne leaves as she gives Pam the supervision at Damien, or Paul, excuse me, while Richard and Anne bring Damien to the museum, and as Damien arrives, Richard and Anne die in a most painful death, and as a climax, it was a good haunting climax, admittedly. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 6.7 out of 10. I didn't mind this movie, and its characters and the deaths and everything about it, I didn't mind whatsoever. It's a comfortable time at the movies, and the dialogue is a good time. I think I like the shots and the locations and where it was filmed. It looked tremendous, so after the original, give this one a look at, but admittedly, there were times it didn't make sense, but I still went with it because it's a B movie. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with Omen 3, and until next time, the truth. Where does it end?